Welcome on back, everybody. Wild Willy here in the next episode of my Convergence Mod, Storm Spirit Summoner build, and Convergence Mod showcase. So I've done a bunch of stuff since I last saw you guys. I figured me running around the map and getting set up wasn't exactly compelling YouTube video material, so I did a bunch of stuff on my own. Let's kind of give you a recap. Ran through Caelid, gathering golden seeds and sacred tears. Came down here to get the Grace by the Impossible Great Bridge because there's a dungeon related to the Necromancer class that's right over here. One of the catacombs. Another catacomb that's related to our Stormcaller. The basic dungeon is the Stormfoot Catacombs right here, just south of their starting area, near Limgrave. If you ever want to get the Beast Repellent Torch, it's in the Groveside Cave. That's where you would start if you were the Bestial Devout. Identified 13 of the starter classes starting sites, like where you would pop into the world. I think I know a couple of other ones, but I haven't been to those sites to confirm. So anyway, I'm here at the Church of Pilgrimage. The next catacombs I need to for my next level of necromancy spells are directly south. Forget what it's called, so let me make it morning and we'll proceed. I'll show off the levels and the gear. Did some work there as well. Wrong one, so we're just heading south. I don't really need to mark that on the map now that I think about it. So I'm level 57. I farmed Grail twice with the gold pickle Foulfoot over at Fort Ferreth, and you know, while I was contemplating life, universe, and everything, I was standing near the doorway of Fort Ferreth and going back to the site of Grace to do the passive room farm from Fort Ferreth. So I'm level 57. I have 30 vigor, 16 mind, 16 endurance, 21 strength, which is actually 16, 18 dex, 21 intelligence and faith, which is also 16 because we're getting +5 from our armor, and then base arcane. So if I were to sit down and go to level up and you look at my stats, these are my stats without my armor. So basically 16 across the board, except for Dex is up to 18 and Arcane is down at the base level at 8. This is a fairly stat-hungry build. At this point, Strength and Dex, you know, I'm pretty much set. I might get some more points in both, but wouldn't take either one of them above 22 really, unless a weapon required it. Mind and Endurance are always good, so getting those up to 20 and beyond is good. The next priority is going to be Vigor, getting that up to 40. And then, like I said, I'm getting 5 Intelligence and 5 Faith from my armor set, which brings me to 21. I'd like to get both of those up to 24 for the middle tier set of spells. I think we're going to need that level. So anyway, let's head out. Enough of me yapping. And I did just get a basic weapon. I got the Knight's Twin Blade, one of my favorites from the base game. It's just ground loot on the Altus Plateau. Any weapon that you're comfortable with works. Once we get in here and I tap the Site of Grace, I'm going to show you how I have the weapons infused. And I might have to switch this over to Holy. I don't remember what's in here. But let me show you kind of what we're rocking. So the Twin Blade is a Dragonkin Twin Blade. I'm going to sit down and show you this part in a minute. It's scaling off of Int, Strength, and Dex. I have a decent Int level, so that's good for my damage. It's going to do Frost buildup, so I can proc Frost. vacuum slice ash of war. I just stuck there on there so that I would have something. I have the blighted branch, which is the basic catalyst for my sorceries for my necromancer part of my build. This is just the basics, and you can see the stats: Int 6, Fate 6. Every character in the game by design is going to be able to rock like the very basic catalyst, which gives you access to very basic spells, which in some cases are very nice. For the Stormcaller side of things, I did get the Tempest Caller staff up on the Altus Plateau as I was running around getting Sacred Tears. The last one, let me see if I can pull up the map. Yep, I can. I'm not that far underground. Over here, the Second Church of America. You're running over from, not the Second Church. Which one is it? It's this one, Stormcaller Church. That makes a lot more sense. So from the Rampart side path, you ride through the new encampment here. There's a new, like, kind of base, dungeon, whatever. You ride down past the graveyard, loot some runes, hop in the church, grab yourself a Sacred Tear, and then tucked in the corner by the doorway is a chest, and that has the level 2 catalyst for the Stormcaller build. So let me sit down and show you Ashes of War. I went by Bernal at Stormhill Shack, and I just bought him out. Like, all of it was like 800 runes, so I had some left over from farming, and I just went over and bought every Ash of War basically that he had. You see, if I were to go and switch, let's make it a Golden Knight's Twin Blade. To take that off of the Morning Star. I'm doing holy damage, but I can go back to Dragonkin. It's still going to be a Sacred Blade is still going to be the Ash of War, so I could still buff my weapon with holy damage. But you can see here, if I choose Dragonkin, I get frost buildup, and it's doing pure lightning damage, which is always nice because we're always running around in Elden Ring through these wet, soggy dungeons and fighting bosses in wet, soggy boss rooms, and, you know, dragons hanging out in the middle of lakes and all that stuff. And guess what? Now, with the Dragonkin affinity, you can do lightning damage as a basic Ash of War, and that, you know, like, you can do any one of these things. There's no restriction per weapon for this. So I'm going to go ahead and go back to... So I lost my frostbite buildup. Let's see if I can go back. Let's see if I can go back and take that. All right, so we're back to Dragonkin. I still get Sacred Blade in case there are undead down here. Anyway, let's proceed. I'm not planning on using my staff for anything, but it's there. Not the talisman, the seal, the staff. But it's available. That's been a minute since I've been in here. Okay, so we do have skellies. So holy is good, because this is just going to take them right out. Alright, so there's the basic Necromancer armor. If you didn't start at the class, is you want to rock it, go right ahead. There's our boss door. Proceed on along. Anyone else? Okay. So there's my first couple of ghosts and grave gloveworts. I feel like I'm chasing a skeleton through here, and we're just not seeing each other. There you are. Alright, so you're dead. And with the passive FP regen, I should be able to just keep this on my weapon pretty much all the time. All right, so we got one over here. I love how they get up and tap their head. It's like, here I am. Thank you for pointing that out. I can come kill you now? Instead of you going immediately aggro to me. And we might have triggered that one to come over. I wind up was a little faster. And once again, I'm kind of like hearing stuff, but I'm not really sure where it is. All right, so I know what that's from. I don't have any throwing daggers equipped. And of course, from my Taker's cameo, every time I kill something, I'm getting HP and FP back. Ooh, okay, so I'm getting torched. And I know you're in here. All right, let me just run over and bop this thing. Hop on top. That one should come alive here in a minute. Come on. Come on, I want your HP. Alright, I'm not healing up from the dead things. That's a little disappointing. This guy behind me. Human bone shard. There's my lever. The door is open. Let's go back and find the boss room. Go. And I have no idea what's in here. I just honestly don't remember. We'll find out together. Oh, it's a cemetery shade. Okay. So this, I just need to like be able to hit him. All right, if he hits you, he's gonna like bring you in. And that's it. Like holy damage, it's gonna tear him up. So I get Lutel the Headless, and there's my shining room of necromancy. So let's go on over here and go back to the entrance. I want to go to my site of grace and rest up. And now I want to go to Ashes of War. We'll stick with, let's do this, and then do flames, so we're getting some fire buildup, because we're about to go take on a tree avatar. Let's see. Over here, I want to put on Lutel. One other thing I found out is that if you visit Kale at the first church, right outside the first steps where you would normally start, he has a lantern for 200 runes, which is way cheaper than the 1800 I think I spent getting my lantern from whoever I got it from, one of the merchants. So let's see, memorize spell. Oh, I gotta eat the rune first. Hang on. Inventory. Shimmering Rune, Rancor Call, Lingering Blight, Rally the Legion, Accursed Binding. So now, every time I go to summon, I want to cast Accursed Binding on myself first, and then I can summon and not take the penalty. So let's go over here. I don't need that. Where is it? And then here, I want to do Rally the Legion. So that just buffs all my summons. So I would come into a battle, I would switch to this staff. Of course it's raining. I'm trying to fight something that I want to do fire damage to, the usual. Okay, so we want to go. Oops. Fortunately, I'm tanky enough to be like fucking around with this. And that tore him up. Alright, so let's go back to this, and now I want to do that, and that's going to buff Lutel. And now I just want to get in here and kill shit. Stuck on the rock, that was lovely. It would be nice if you hit something. Alright, now I'm behind him, and that's it. Should be able to just lay into him, and Lutel finished him off. Alright, now, the nice thing about this is it should spout a... We get the Staff of the Avatar, and then we get 2 Essence Remnant, an Essence and an Invigorating Remnant. So then we can use those to craft. Where's our Grace? There it is. Let's touch down on that. Now, the interesting thing about Lutel is, watch me rest. He goes away, and then I can immediately... I can bring him right on back out, and then just to explore the world with my Spirit Summon... Bestie. Alright, so now we have the access to the portal, and we can start, traveling around the world. Let me show you, like in Limgrave, we are here, so I could go to Stormhill, I could go to Mistwood, that's the one I was trying to avoid earlier. In order to be able to travel, though, you have to beat the boss where you arrive. So that's the tricky part. It's not like, oh, I can go anywhere. I can go to the DLC if I wanted to. No, you actually have to be you're in a boss arena when you get there, and you have to beat the Erdtree avatar for that transporter that you're at in order to be able to proceed. So that's that one done. We have that catacomb completed. The other one we're going to go and get our next set of spells for our Stormcaller is over here, Stormfront Catacombs. And I'll see, yes, I can. So let's, let me get the hang of stuff here. Now I can pull out Lutel, and I can buff him up. And now we can go to town. And no surprise, Stormcaller's in here. Put on my lantern. Vital is glowing because he's got that buff. Thank you for the supplemental lighting source. There's our boss room, another sprouting grave bloodlord. That was my Ash of War. Oh, and we got this guy in the corner. Vital, where are you at, bro? Come help me out. Oh, and you're chucking fire bots. Alright. Now let's... Oh, I got shoulder checked? Jeez. Sounds a little slow on the uptake. A little slow to gain aggro from people. That's why I switched back to my flame. I'm thinking, like, why am I not doing the thing I want to do? Get me anything? No, it just gets me higher. It just makes me taller. Alright, so what does my Ash of War do? I just go straight ahead. Alright, I thought I saw some people over here. Where'd you go? There he is. Del chucked a spear at him. Butterfly, not exciting. Alright, this guy's showing up here. Also not as much healing as I remember from my Taker's cameo. Lutel. Wandering Noble Ashes, not at all exciting. Alright, how do we proceed through here? I have to drop down? I have to drop down there. And then double back on myself. This should be the lever. Heavy door is opened. We can work our way back to the boss door. Alright, so... there's the boss door. Where'd Lutel go? There he is. I'm gonna switch my weapon back to lightning damage. You can hear Lutel coming after me. Alright, so he phased out. That's okay. We can summon him again on the way. Go back to my Twin Blade, and I want... we'll do Sacred again so I can buff it. And we'll do Dragon again. Alright, so let me... oop, went past it. Do that. Summon my boy. Wait a minute. You see how it debuffed me? I might have just taken the Accursed Binding off. So it's good that y'all saw that. I think the Accursed Binding might stay on. Let's try that again. rally. Alright, and I want to just heal up. We'll go ahead and refill that all the way. Let me put that on. Alright, come on, Lutel. I didn't put anything in my flask. I didn't craft any remnants, but this is still Limgrave. We shouldn't need it. Alright, so let's just go through the boss fog. Got one of those. Now I'm gonna need you to put that down so that I can hit you. Electrical damage building up. I don't know if I got a frost proc or not. So now we got the Shimmering Rune of the Storm, and we got the Godric Knight Bump. Okay, so let's go back to the cave entrance here. And let me go into my inventory and we'll find that one. Shimmering Rune of the Storm, use Twister, Stormark, Whirlwind, and Stormcall. And I'm just gonna run over here and beat this guy's. See how quickly I can proc Frost. That's good. Okay, so can I level up again? I'm probably a couple thousand runes short. I am. Alright, so let's see where we want to go next. You can go into your inventory and then you gotta find your class. We should be right here. So Stormcaller, let's examine. So Cliff Bottom Catacombs would be the next one. That's up in Liurnia. And then for the Necromancer, our next one is also in Liurnia. Those are all the weapons and stuff. I want to scroll down. The Black Knife Catacombs is the other one. So Cliff Bottom Catacombs and Black Knife Catacombs are going to be our next few targets. I'm just going to pause the video and go get those Sites of Grace. So again, you know, you guys don't have to watch me running around. And then I'll do a tiny bit of farming, farm up another level, working on pumping up my int and faith. So thanks for watching. Like and subscribe if you're enjoying it. Thumbs up. And I'll see you in the next one.